All right, so I'm just going to use the generalized term, the bad guys, okay? And that can mean different things to different people. But overall, I think you kind of follow what I'm saying by the bad guys. So the bad guys have been able to manipulate the speed at which technological advancements occur. If you're aware of some things about this topic, you probably know that the technology available to humanity is far beyond what is commonly available to all of us, the average people. Okay? So, the speed at which technology is discovered, developed, invented, allowed to be given to the public can be varied. It can be controlled and manipulated, and it is. So, the speed at which we develop technologically, and it's been incredible. The last century has been off the freaking charts insane with regards to the technology and how fast things are happening. My God. It's been incredible. The acceleration has been off the charts. Now, there's good and there's bad points to that. A big, obvious red flag bad point would be the development of nuclear weapons and the ability for humanity to destroy humanity. It's not going to happen, not in this timeline, and not in most of the timelines that are similar to this timeline. Although it is possible, generally speaking, in these timelines, we're pretty much okay with that. And there's a lot of reasons why we're okay with that. And we'll get into those at some point in the future. But anyway, yes, it's been quite the trip when it comes to technology and how fast it's been accelerating. A lot of comforts. Now we've lost some things with the advancement of technology. We've definitely lost some things. If you think about it, we as a people, and I really can't speak for cultures I'm not connected to and familiar with, but for the cultures that I'm familiar with and that I've had experience with, the Western world, we're pretty screwed when it comes to being able to be self-sufficient. All it would take is an interruption in the diesel fuel, gasoline, petroleum, oil situation, where the trucks couldn't deliver the food to the supermarkets, and the supermarkets wouldn't get their food. They rely on the trucks delivering it. That's what it's all about. Now, of course, if you're in a farming community, there are plenty of examples where that shit's not going to matter. But for most of us, if the fuel for the trucks and the truck's ability to deliver the food to the supermarkets is compromised, we're up shit's creek without a paddle. All right. So anyway, we've really gotten back in the dark ages when it comes to being able to like provide for ourselves. All right. Also, in total other that's a whole other ball game to talk about. But anyway, so yes, technology has its drawbacks, but it has its good things too. I mean, the comforts and the convenience and the, I mean, one of the best things is the ability to share information. The internet, the ability to communicate instantaneously around the world. Before the Great Flood, when human beings did not have their DNA all jacked up, and we could communicate telepathically, and that was a God-given right, ability, part of our nature, human nature, and now it's like for only a select few who have been able to have that, develop that ability, and eventually we will all do it again. I'm telling you, we'll all do it again. But anyway, yes, technology. It's been manipulated. It's been pushed at an accelerated rate in the last 50 years to such a point where it's accelerated way beyond our spiritual development. And that, my friends, is very important to know. And why is it very important to know that? Because if technology goes past spirituality, spiritual development, the ability to discern right from wrong, the wisdom to use the technology appropriately. If the technology goes too far past where we're at when it comes to our wisdom and spirituality and knowing what to do with the power given to us, bad things can happen. A perfect example. This is a dark idea, but you give a loaded weapon to a child. All right? That's what I'm talking about. You give nuclear weapons to people in the Middle Ages. Like, shit. Give nuclear weapons to people in our level of development. So yes, technology was artificially accelerated to try, and the bad guys did this so that if the technology could get far enough ahead of our spiritual development, we're going to screw ourselves over. It's going to be a really, really bad deal for us. All right? We're going to be in a seriously compromised position. Now, if it wasn't for the purposeful manipulation or technological advancement and our spiritual development would be relatively close together, kind of like before the flood. The days of Atlantis, before Atlantis got totally screwed up at the end. And Atlantis was around for a long time. A long time. Okay? That's a big topic in and of itself. But yes, before the flood. But yeah, so they are, and it's such a like an abstract freaking thought, but the bad guys are purposefully pushing the technological advancement timeline, speed, so that it will get so far ahead of the spiritual advancement that we're going to screw ourselves over. But anyway, that's not going to work. The good guys have already beaten the bad guys in other realities, other dimensions, other realms, whatever you want to call it. The physical, dense world that we exist in, this dream world, it lags behind the higher levels, and it's the last to experience whatever happens big picture wise. So the good guys already won, and I know that seems like an idealistic statement, and it's not something you can just prove like that. But so this whole message today isn't about the bad guys winning. It's one of the tools, one of the techniques they've tried to try and gain an upper hand. Didn't work, but just wanted to throw that out there because it's not commonly discussed. It's not something that is commonly known, and I wanted to share with you today. Remember, do one random act of kindness each day, just one. You'll change the world. Literally, you can change the world with just one act of kindness each day. All right, guys. I'll see you next time.